One way that you can get started speaking easier and continue speaking smoothly is by doing something that we call extending your words. My name is Michael Williams, and today I'm going to give you an overview of how to get started speaking much smoother and easier than maybe you've been used to, and to continue to speak smoothly and to have greater control over your speech. Not only that, when you extend your words, it makes your speech sound good, makes it sound better in many ways. So, one thing that we want you to be clear about, any of these techniques or strategies are just that. They're techniques, they're strategies. They don't represent the entire Pro 90D smooth speech system. And whenever you're dealing with a technique or a step or something like that, you have to understand that they're not always going to work all the time in every single speaking situation. In order to do that, in order to get to a place where you're speaking smoothly and you're speaking clearly and you're speaking confidently and you're calm, you need to take advantage of the entire process, the entire system. Why? Because the goal is to transform your speech or speaking identity and mindset, as well as the way that you speak. So a single technique is simply not going to do that. It can be very, very helpful. It can move you further along in that journey, but that one thing is probably not going to transform your speaking identity, your mindset, and the entire way that you speak. That's why we have an entire system that is scientifically based. So some of you may be wondering, well, what are you talking about when you say speaking identity or mindset? Here's what we mean. I'll just give you a quick example. Do you tend to believe, to think, sometimes even to know, that in certain speaking situations you're probably going to get stuck? Right? Introducing yourself, for example, ordering coffee, in meetings if there's certain, or certain social situations, or when you have to say certain words or letters. Do you tend to believe and think, wow, I'm probably going to get stuck there? If so, that's a part of your identity, your self-concept. It's also part of your mindset. Your mind is set in that direction. You tend to think, know, believe, hey, here comes this word, I'm probably going to get stuck. Anticipate, worry, so forth, right? So those things have to be transformed, they have to be changed. We have to replace them with something new, and that's a part of the overall process. So what we're going to be talking about today is just one technique that can be very, extremely helpful in moving you in that direction. But don't think, oh, well, it worked for a little while, but it stopped working, and so the system doesn't work. This is not the system. This is one thing, but it's extremely helpful. So that's why I'm sharing it. I want to also encourage you to click it's a little circle in the corner of this video. It has a little eye in it. When you click it, so it's going to slide out, and you're going to have a selection of just images where you can register for the 7 steps to quickly achieve smooth, calm, confident speech, absolutely free. There's a bonus program in there called the Mental Trainer Passive Learning Program, and we'll also be adding some other things so that you can take advantage of these techniques and strategies to help you start speaking smoother, to help you along that way. Okay, so go ahead and do that. You're also going to see a link in there that for those of you that want to accelerate your progress, you're going to want to go ahead and have a private conversation with me, and we'll talk a little bit about that at the end. But let's jump into this technique, this step called extending your words. Now, some of you know this by the word or the terminology elongating or prolonging. Now, why don't I use elongate or prolong? I have a very strategic reason for not using those words, that terminology. They tend to be associated with stammering and stuttering. Not completely, not solely, not all the time, but they tend to be. So people that have gone to speech therapists or other programs will talk about elongating or prolonging. There's nothing wrong with that terminology. But our goal is to disassociate ourselves from stuttering, from that identity. You can't continue to identify yourself as a stutterer and use stuttering terminology like blocking, stammering, stuttering, prolong, elong. Whenever you use that terminology, you're shifting yourself back over. You're standing in that identity of I'm a stutterer, using techniques and strategies and methodology to manage my stuttering, right? We don't want that. We want you to see yourself as being an excellent speaker, an amazing speaker. Just in an interview with someone who now sees himself as, hey, I'm a pretty good speaker. People are coming up to me saying that. Before, he didn't see himself like that. So this is about identity and mindset transformation, which means we have to change our language. We have to change our language. So the word that I like to use is extending. Extending. It's my own term for elongating and prolonging. And trust me, there's a reason why we use that. So I'd encourage you to use this word instead of those, right? Because words do matter. So we're talking about extending your words. When you get started speaking, it is often good to extend those first few words, right? Especially in a high pressure speaking situation. When you learn to extend your first few words, you gain control, you're able to better maintain airflow. It makes your speech smoother. And it's perfectly natural sometimes to extend those first few words, especially in a situation, for example, where you are doing a presentation. There are lots of people, when they start their presentation. In fact, I encourage my clients, when you start your presentation, go super slow. Extend the first few words. Go super slow for that first minute or so. So that might sound something like, it is extremely pleasure for me to be here with you today. My name is Michael Williams, and we're going to talk about something that's very, very important. So notice I'm taking my time. I'm not extending every single word, but I'm extending most, or a lot of those words. What that does is it slows you down. It gives you greater control. It gives your heart rate time to slow down, right? It makes it real smooth, very intense, right? But very smooth and very controlled. And once you can get into a nice flow, then you'll find, oh, wow, okay, I feel more relaxed, more in control. I'm in a nice flow. I can continue this rhythm and this flow when I'm speaking. So learn to extend those first few words. And you can also extend while you're speaking. You can also extend certain words while you're speaking. Now remember, I sit and I watch and I work with people every single day. And I see different speaking patterns. I see people who have a short speaking pattern where the words are very short, they're cutting them off, and so the words are not very clear, they are running out of air, they're getting stuck in between. We find that when they extend more of their words, their speech smooths right out. It smooths right out. So again, I go into more detail about extending in, I believe it's step 4 of the 7 steps. So you want to get into there, and we talk about extending. And I just showed you briefly a couple of examples of how you can extend more of your words. I just did it then, right? I extended most of those words. Sounded totally natural. Another way to look at extending is that I'm emphasizing something, like highlighting. So when I extend a word or words, I'm also highlighting it. So it has a couple of benefits to it. Number one, it's giving you control over your speech. It's making it smoother. It also makes it sound good. It grabs the audience. It makes the audience wake up and listen and pay attention to what you're emphasizing or extending. Extending is one way to emphasize. You can emphasize by inflecting on a word, by articulating or over-articulating, by using facial expressions, hand gestures, right? We talk about that. We go over that. You actually learn that in the Pro 90D Smooth Speech System. So extending is one, but it's very important. So if you practice and you learn how to extend more of your words, you will find that it can help make getting started easier, especially if you go back to our last video or two where we talked about using introductory words, phrases, and sounds. You learn to get started speaking easier, and you learn to continue speaking smoothly by extending some of your words. Okay, so I hope that this was helpful for you, but just remember, this is not the whole thing. This is not the whole thing. So for those of you who want a comprehensive system, you can check out our self-study. For those of you who've been working on your own and you'd like to accelerate the process, you're tired of losing opportunities, missing opportunities, both social and professional, you understand the value of investing in your speech. That's an investment. It's not a cost. It's an investment. One where you can actually get a financial return, better jobs, better income, right? Better opportunities. So this is not just something where you're pouring money into something and you're not getting anything out. You're investing in yourself. You feel freer to speak up, to take advantage of opportunities, to set goals that maybe you didn't set before because of your speech. For those of you that are skeptical, search the internet, do your research, check out our self-study again, look at all the free resources, and just be your own judge, right? Try it out for yourself, be your own judge. Don't just listen to what other people say, because they have their own motives. So I'm not going to try to persuade you. You just check it out for yourself. Look at the research. Go through my videos. Listen to what I'm saying. Don't just watch one, but go through them, and you'll see that this system is designed for people who don't just want to not stutter, but you want to become an excellent speaker. You don't just want to manage stuttering. You actually want to transform your speaking identity, your mindset. You want to become more confident. You want to become a confident speaker. You want to be able to engage with people on a one-on-one basis as well as an audience. You want to be more persuasive, more influential. You want to be a leader. So if this is you, then go ahead and click that link and set up a private conversation with me where we'll do three things. Number one, we'll assess your speech. This is where you're at now. We'll take a look at where you'd like to be, and I'll let you know how I can help you get there. So thank you so much. This is Michael Williams. Do check out step 4 in the 7 steps where we talk about extending, and I go a little deeper. But from this video, what I want you to learn is that this is a way to gain control over your speech, to smooth out your speech, to emphasize, to be able to maintain airflow, and that we use the word extending so that we differentiate ourselves from stuttering terminology. We want to disassociate and differentiate ourselves so that you see yourself as becoming an excellent speaker, not just someone managing stuttering. Thank you so much for watching this video, and we'll see you next time.